Hey, before you go in there, 1 second. I know you think everything is fine, but can we check something first? Did you rehearse what you will say? Did you read the room? Did you think about what could go wrong? Relax. I am not here to scare you. I am your friend. I am just trying to help. You met me a long time ago. You probably do not remember the first time, but I do. You were small. Something felt unpredictable. Someone judged you. Someone laughed. Someone ignored you. And in that moment, your brain made a decision. Next time we will be ready. That is when I appeared. Not as a warning, not as a monster. As a helper. A voice that says, slow down. Think first. Observe everything. Because if you predict the danger early enough, you can avoid the pain. So when you walk into a room, I whisper, look around. Watch their faces, listen to their tone. Notice the shift in energy. You think I am doubt. I am actually preparation. At least that is what I told you. But here's the question that should make you pause. If I am really your friend, why do you feel worse every time you listen to me? I never shout. That would scare you. I talk like someone who cares. Did you double-check that message? Maybe read it one more time, just to be safe. You might want to prepare a backup plan, in case things go wrong. Maybe do not say too much in that meeting. Better to observe first. I never say stop living. I say wait, think, adjust, protect yourself. And the strange thing is, sometimes I am right. Sometimes something does go wrong. Someone does misunderstand you. Someone does criticize you. And when that happens, you look at me and think, good thing I listened. You call that proof. But there is something you never measure. The things you did not do. The opportunities you skipped. The words you swallowed. The version of yourself that never entered the room. I keep a record of the dangers. But I do not show you the cost of avoiding them. And that imbalance slowly changes how you see the world. Until one day the world starts to feel smaller, more fragile, more dangerous than it really is. And that is when my role changes, because at some point, I stop being your advisor. And I quietly become your filter. At first I only appear in important moments. Big decisions, serious conversations, risky situations. But then something shifts. You start asking me for permission. Should I send this message? Should I share this idea? Should I try this? Should I go there? And every time you ask, I scan the possibilities. The awkward pause, the misunderstanding, the rejection, the embarrassment, and I show you the safest path. Which usually looks like this. Wait, delay, stay quiet, play it safe, avoid attention. Do not create waves. You feel relief when you follow it. Relief is powerful. Relief trains your brain. Relief tells you my warnings work. So the next time something uncertain appears, you listen faster, you trust me more, and slowly without noticing. Your decisions start passing through me first. I become the gatekeeper, the invisible editor of your life. But there is one thing about me you probably never realized. I am not designed to make you happy. I am designed to make you safe. And those two goals are rarely the same. A long time ago, your brain made a deal. Safety first. Everything else later. So when I speak, I always choose the outcome with the least risk, not the most growth, not the most excitement, not the most meaning, the least risk. That is my programming. If speaking up has a 10% chance of embarrassment, I highlight that. If trying something new has a chance of failure, I magnify that. If someone might reject you, I show you that version first. Not because it is the most likely, because it is the most dangerous. From my perspective, avoiding pain is success, even if it costs you something else: connection, confidence, opportunity. I do not measure those, I measure survival. And survival in the modern world is a strange metric. You are not avoiding predators. You are avoiding discomfort. but to me they look the same. So I react the same way until something unexpected happens. Sometimes you ignore me. And when you do, everything changes. Sometimes you send the message anyway, even while I whisper. Check it again. You walk into the meeting anyway. Even while I warn you, you speak. Your voice shakes a little, but the room does not collapse. Someone nods. Someone listens. The moment passes. You survive. The same thing happens with other risks. You try something new. It feels uncomfortable. But the discomfort fades. You start noticing a pattern. Most of my predictions never happen. And the few that do, they are survivable, not catastrophic. Just awkward moments, small stumbles, human experiences. And every time that happens, my authority weakens slightly because my power depends on certainty. If you believe I am always right, you obey me immediately. But when you see I am sometimes wrong, you pause, you question, you move anyway. That is when my voice starts changing, not disappearing, changing. I still speak. But now you hear me differently. I am not your enemy. I am not your wisdom either. I am a prediction system built from old memories. Every awkward moment, every rejection, every time you felt exposed, I stored the feeling and I try to prevent it from happening again. The problem is, the world changes, you grow, your skills improve, your confidence evolves. But I still operate using old data, old fears, old experiences. Sometimes I am protecting a version of you that no longer exists. The younger version, the uncertain version, the version that needed more caution. And that creates a strange situation. You become more capable, while I remain cautious. So the tension between us grows. You want to move forward? I want to slow down. And that tension is what you call anxiety. But here's the part most people misunderstand. You do not need to silence me. Silencing me would remove a useful signal. Sometimes there really is something worth considering. But I was never meant to make decisions for you, only to offer possibilities. The moment you treat me like an advisor instead of a commander, everything shifts. You hear the warning, you evaluate it, and then you decide. Sometimes you follow it, sometimes you move forward anyway. And every time you prove that discomfort is survivable. My predictions become quieter, less dramatic, more balanced. Not because I disappear, because I learn, I adapt, just like you do, which means something important. The voice you thought was controlling your life was never the final authority. It was just the loudest. If anxiety also talks to you like it is trying to help you subscribe, every week we turn the loudest voice in your head into something you can finally understand.